Imagine waking up to a profound silence. The green park across the street gone. The towering trees are skeletal remains, and the fields are dry, cracked earth under a hazy sky. This isn't a post-apocalyptic movie. It's a potential reality. A future where Earth has lost 90% of its plant life. How would we survive? It's a terrifying thought we often dismiss. But rampant deforestation, pollution, and climate change are steering us closer to this precipice. The warning signs are all around us, flashing like red alerts. This barren world isn't a distant nightmare. It's a plausible outcome. Today, we're going to face that reality head-on. We're going to explore what life would truly be like on an Earth stripped of its green heart. The air would feel heavy and wrong, every breath a conscious effort, the atmosphere thick with carbon dioxide. This is the beginning of the oxygen collapse. Nearly every molecule of oxygen we inhale is a gift from plants and trees. With 90% gone, oxygen production would plummet. The world would move in slow motion, a struggle for every breath. Hospitals would be overwhelmed by respiratory failure, as we are slowly, inexorably starved of the one thing we cannot live without. After the struggle for air comes the gnawing pang of hunger. Supermarket shelves would be completely bare. The fresh produce section, a desolate wasteland. This is the great food chain collapse. Plants are the foundation of almost every food chain. Remove 90%, and the entire structure crashes down. Herbivores would face mass starvation within weeks, their populations decimated, bones littering barren fields. With herbivores gone, carnivores would be next. A desperate hunt for scraps would ensue. The intricate web of life would unravel. In the oceans, the death of phytoplankton would starve zooplankton. The oceans would become vast, silent, and largely empty. For humanity, the consequences would be apocalyptic. Agriculture would cease to exist. The global food supply would evaporate. Initial panic would lead to riots and chaos. Governments would collapse under the strain. The social fabric would tear apart. Survival would depend on scavenging and hoarding. The great food chain. Collapse is not just about empty supermarkets. It's about the end of civilization as we know it. With the air unbreathable and the food gone, the planet itself would turn against us. The climate would descend into chaos. The loss of plant cover would break Earth's weather systems. The first casualty would be the rain. Forests create rainfall. Without them, patterns would vanish, monsoons would fail, and heartlands would turn to dust. The world would be gripped by a permanent drought. Rainfall would lead to catastrophic flash floods. The land would become barren, unable to support growth. Temperatures would soar uncontrollably. Plants act as air conditioners. Without them, heat would radiate back. Heat waves would be a permanent state. Cities would become uninhabitable during the day. Wildfires would rage on an unprecedented scale. The climate chaos would create a feedback loop of destruction. The Earth's climate system would become our greatest adversary. In this broken world, the silence would be haunting. The symphony of life would fade away. This is the era of mass extinctions. The extinction event would sweep through every class of animal life. Insects, the tiny engineers of ecosystems, would vanish. Without pollinators, plants would struggle to reproduce. The world would lose its color and vibrancy. The loss of biodiversity would mean the end of countless wonders. Imagine a world with no more elephants, whales, or eagles. Their extinction would leave a hole in the world and the human soul. The great silence would be the sound of evolution coming to a dead end. In a world struggling for breath, food, and stability, human health would break down. Hospitals would be flooded with ailments linked to the death of nature. Malnutrition would be rampant, leading to severe deficiencies. Diseases like scurvy and rickets would make a comeback. The collapse of mental health would be an invisible plague. The loss of green spaces would lead to a global epidemic of despair. Rates of depression and anxiety would skyrocket. The psychological burden of living on a dying planet would be unbearable. The loss of nature's healing power would be felt in every aspect of life. Hospitals would be grim places, overflowing with the sick and broken. The concept of health would be redefined as simply surviving. We would be a species in hospice care, living out our final days on a planet we killed. Humanity's instinct for survival would drive us to create fortresses against the dying world. These would be the final cities, the last sanctuaries, massive biodomes. Life inside would be a pale imitation of what was lost. The air would be recycled, and light would mimic the sun. Every resource would be meticulously monitored and recycled. Farming would move indoors, with genetically modified crops. Food would be nutritious but monotonous. Life would be rigidly structured, with little room for personal freedom. Outside the domes, the majority would fend for themselves. A new class system would emerge. Insiders and outsiders. The struggle for resources would be against nature and between humanity. These last cities would represent the paradox of human ingenuity. We would have created the technology to survive, but lost what it means to be human. We would be safe, but not free. We would be alive, but not truly living. We have walked through a nightmare, but this future is not yet written. The barren world is a warning, not a prophecy. We are standing at a crossroads, and the choice is ours. Preventing this future requires a shift in our relationship with the planet. Our survival is linked to the health of ecosystems. We must protect what we have left and expand protections. Support indigenous communities, the frontline guardians of ecosystems. Begin the largest restoration project in history. Reforest the planet, rebuild ecosystems and rewild landscapes. Transform the global economy to a circular, regenerative one. Invest in renewable energy and sustainable agriculture. Hold corporations accountable for their environmental impact. Every conscious choice adds up to create change. The time for small changes is over. Bold action is needed now. The future of every living thing hangs in the balance. The choice between a green world and a barren one is made every day. Let's choose life. The world we've walked through is a warning, not a story. The images of cracked earth and suffocating cities should haunt us. We are the architects of tomorrow, and the blueprint is in our hands. The time to save Earth's green heart is now. With every breath, we borrow from a depleting bank of oxygen. The urgency cannot be overstated. We are the generation that will decide the fate of forests and oceans. This is about more than saving landscapes. It's about saving ourselves. Plants are the silent, beating heart of our world. Without them, we lose life itself. Let's be the generation that helps the green heart of our world beat stronger.